Hello!
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go, you do the intro.
Hi.
Oh, that was really extensive.
We're back.
Why don't we do like a
Welcome to Cigar Time, your ever so friendly
Hello.
TV show.
Hello.
All about cigars and stuff.
cigars and stuff?
And don't forget, watch our outlet show right after this.
That's true.
Boy, that was brought tears to my eyes.
Is that bad?
I finally met a golden orator.
What?
A golden orator.
Orator. He's the epitome of sartorial splendor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and welcome back, everyone. That's more like it.
Yeah.
A little life in it.
Yeah.
I did. I yelled hello.
You sound like the.
You sound like Ethel Merman.
Yeah, Ethel Merman.
Hello.
Now you just blew out the sound system.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's get the voice of reason here. Rob, what are we doing today?
We're
Yeah,
doing
Rob.
another blind taste test. Everybody loves these blind taste tests. So
Are you allowed to say blind anymore? Isn't that like
my
offensive to
God.
people who
It's a
are
blind
Visually
taste.
impaired.
who are
taste
sight
test.
impaired?
It's a blind taste test.
No, this is a blind taste test. When you talk about them, visually impaired.
Visually impaired.
Okay, two different things.
It's like
My roommate in college
like
was
some of us
visually impaired.
are
He was what? Visually impaired?
who
He couldn't see either. My roommate in college, my first roommate.
couldn't see.
That his other senses were amazing.
Well, that's what happens.
I drove him home. Like he wanted to go see his mom or whatever.
How can he see that? How
He
can he see
gave
his
me
mom?
directions.
How can he see his mom?
You see, make a left, make a right, go straight.
He did. Honest to God, he'd say, "All right, take 352." I think he lived in Haverford or something, and which was fine. And then we were in traffic, and he goes, "Okay, you're gonna make a right at the next light." I'm like, "What?"
It's sense of.
I'm like, "How the hell do you know that?" It was amazing. It was so amazing. Sometimes I wonder if I
He was
imagined
playing
it.
blind.
Right. No, he wasn't, because I actually.
Did he get a lot of
He
checks?
would walk down the hallway. He could tell where the elevator was because he would count the doors.
Yeah.
And he would count the number of closed doors. And
Yeah.
I watched him do this. And the closet, like where all the maintenance and cleaning materials are, opens out.
Now, was he blind from
And I didn't
birth?
tell him.
Oh, Jesus.
College kids.
Picking on the blind guy.
Was he blind from birth?
No, he fell off his bike.
Oh,
Yeah, well, he was like
that must that
3 or 4.
that has to be the worst possible
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
If you're blind from birth, I mean that's the way.
But-
sadly, that's the way you are. But
You know, you say go to see his mother, but we actually just treated him like, I'd ask him, "Hey, you want to go see a movie?" He appreciated being just treated like everybody else.
I think
Did
that
he-
makes a
did he
lot
go?
of sense.
I don't think so, but anyway,
What was that movie about the blind guy in college?
Son of a Woman.
No, not that one. No.
He was blind.
There was a
He was in
whole...
the army.
Yeah, it was military.
He was military. He lost his sight in the military.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
But Chris O'Donnell was in college.
Yes, he was in college, and he was fully functional. And he was the guy who led the other guy around.
We got nothing to do today.
Let's do a blind taste test. Let's light up.
Okay, let's light up. If you insist.
Rich, if you're listening,
Shout out to Rich.
He'd be an old
And
man
Ron
by
Man.
now.
No, you wanna go?
Well, you were the same age, weren't you?
I knew where you were going.
Yes, he called you old.
So,
I get it.
since
Like he's not wrong.
last week, it was a very eventful week for me.
Yeah. Oh, I know your
My
anniversary.
anniversary is on the 6th.
Right.
My birthday was on the 7th.
Happy birthday.
Strategic planning on my part. That way I can't forget
Can't
my
forget.
anniversary.
Yeah, exactly.
I got married on December 1st, so I wouldn't forget.
I guess it was my anniversary last week too, October 1st.
How come I didn't see anything in
21 years of
Facebook about your
bliss.
birthday? Or did I? And I sent you greetings.
I got a greetings from a lot of people, yeah. So
Because usually it pops up every morning. I get this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I use Facebook is to find birthdays.
Yeah.
Somebody remind me on the last show of September that my anniversary is on the 1st, will you?
okay.
So I can remember.
Was this like a strategic birthday, a special number? Did you read?
Well, I was born on the 7th, but I picked the wedding date the day before my birthday.
wouldn't forget.
So I wouldn't forget my anniversary.
But the age you arrived at on the 7th. Was that like a special number, like 70 or 75? Something?
Well, thank you very much. No, it's 63. That's all.
Oh, you're a pup.
Yeah, just 63.
I got socks. I got socks.
Do you
older
guys
than you.
toast your cigar before you light it? Or you
I
just
do.
Go right at
I,
it.
no,
I
toast.
do.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I almost always toast it. Just
I took that Davidoff course that
Yeah.
Bud was so
Yeah,
fired
yeah.
up about everybody had.
I'm still fighting with them to get our stuff.
Yeah, I never completed the
with them.
course, but one of the things I told you up front is how to light your cigar properly.
Right.
Mhm.
And it was toasted first, then
You know the reason for the toasting.
so you get an
No.
even start.
The cigars will burn more evenly if you char them.
Right.
Get the binder going, you know, and that ignites it, and it gives you a much more even burn. When
I,
it doesn't guarantee it because if somehow the cigar
Manufacturing
quality,
has a bit to play in it.
yeah.
well, so does Mother Nature has a bigger part on whether or not it like canoes or.
Well, if you light it in a windstorm and smoke it in a windstorm, sure, things are
Right.
going to happen.
Yeah, driving down the road, smoking your cigar with the windows open, not a good
Nah,
thing.
no.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with making it easy. When your cigar goes out and you relight it,
The
It
way
light- it
the
lights
way
just
they
like that.
explain it when I was taking the course is when you toast it, you get the even burn around the end, plus you get the wrapper started, and
You're
right
right.
off the bat you're getting all the flavors. So when you put it in your mouth and then fire it up a little bit, you turn it quarter turn each time.
Yeah.
Now, do you blow through the cigar
Yeah.
gently after you ignite it?
Yes.
and I don't toast the cigar. I actually light it that way. Like all I do is get it so that's all you really need to do is if you get the
Char.
Right.
You get
red
the char going.
red embers
Yep.
all the way around,
Yep.
there. And even if you don't get it all the way, it'll fix it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
I do, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Generally, cigars
I
will
always
fix themselves no
Yeah.
matter how butcher it up,
Yeah.
if you do it right.
Weren't you were saying that somebody taught you that if it starts canoeing,
You put the bottom
put
part of the
put
canoe.
the bottom part of the canoe
Yeah. It
down
fixes
on the bottom,
itself,
that
yeah.
way it fixes
Light
itself.
it up.
When you talked about that maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I didn't know that. I was always using a torch to fix it.
See,
And I started doing that,
I
and
never
it,
used
it
a
works.
I never, if I can avoid a torch, I avoid it. That's not for everyone. People love torches.
Well, yes.
I like a
but
soft flame.
I do too, and I always use a soft flame. But we have the advantage of almost 99% of the time smoking a cigar indoors.
Indoors,
where there's no
yeah,
wind.
yeah.
That's true.
So sometimes a torch is necessary.
Yes, obviously on the
And
golf course.
I don't like it because I think it singes the end of the cigar and it burns the oils. I think it gets too hot
It's a little rough.
and it changes the flavor.
It's definitely a hotter flame.
Oh, it does.
Definitely
It
a
does.
hotter flame.
It does. I agree. I've actually started using matches more.
You know, the thing that blows me away, again, I'm not going to mention names. I have seen dyed-in-the-wool cigar makers, famous names, long-standing famous name, take a torch, stick the cigar in their mouth, and go like this to light it. And I'm thinking, what do they know that I don't know? Because I would think you would burn the hell out of it, and the first couple inch or so of the cigar would taste a little.
I
funky.
agree. And
It could burn your face.
But I've seen it.
I've also seen them like stick it right here. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're supposed to.
You hold it. That's why I like the soft flame.
Right.
You hold it underneath. You let the flame lick up to it.
Yeah.
I did this in a bar once in Florida, in Orlando. Actually, I lit the cigar and the flame never touched the cigar.
Yeah, exactly.
And people were like,
It does, but you don't. It doesn't seem like it.
Right.
Is. Yeah.
yeah, but that I mean,
And that's the
if you
proper
have any
way.
question, light your lighter and put your hand. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
even if it's
exactly.
soft. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
But by
hot.
by lighting it that way, by letting the flame lick up to the tobacco, and gently just turning it and lighting, turning and lighting,
Yep.
turning and lighting, you get a cooler smoke. To me,
Yes.
anyway.
I absolutely.
When you
agree.
burn the hell out of it, that first inch or so
And
tastes like you burned
I
the
would,
hell out of it.
I would say 75% of the people you see light a cigar, take the torch and jam it right at the
I
end.
know. That's I
Right at the end.
And then they wonder why their lighter doesn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly, because it fills up with ash and then you got to
Well,
clean it. And
that's what we're here for.
And we appreciate you doing that because we own stock in the fluid companies.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's a whole other show, the proper way to light a cigar, because I think
No,
a
lighting,
lot of people,
we could do a whole show on lighting and cutting. And,
yeah, a
and
lot of people don't get
relighting
it. The argument between, you know, the V cut and the guillotine cut, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's personal choice.
Yes.
Absolutely. But
But-
there are differences in those cuts.
Oh,
and what-
Yes.
and what
absolutely.
those different cuts do.
That's how
Yes,
it
they-
shoots.
that's
That's
correct.
how it shoots the smoke and the taste over your tongue.
Yep.
And that's why, even though I use a V cut to like this one, I'm not a big V cut guy, because I think the V cut shoots the smoke too narrowly. I think when you guillotine it or open up the whole head of the cigar, the smoke comes into your mouth evenly and coats the tongue, and I can't even pronounce those words. The office
I'd be willing to
or
bet.
whatever.
The other thing I don't like about V cuts or punches, my cigars, the ends of them get wet, very
Yeah,
wet,
and
all
they
of a sudden
get sloppy with
I
that,
get
yeah.
I get bits and pieces,
Pieces.
Yeah, yeah.
and then the cap comes off. It's like, never mind, just give me a guillotine, boom, slice the damn thing off.
Yeah, I mean, it's-
Yeah, but you smoke it a lot faster.
That way.
It
Your
doesn't
way.
matter
With a
which way.
guillotine cut.
It doesn't matter which way I cut it. They're gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
that's the other thing.
I prefer V cuts though.
I see.
Yeah, you're
I,
always using a V cut.
I see. He always uses a V cut, and I almost never use a V cut. And there's another big difference. You've all seen descriptions of cigars that say, like a Toro. This is a 55-minute smoke.
Yeah. No.
Or the reverse. You see somebody, in some of the famous names and some of the blogs and post things and everything. This cigar will go an hour and a half. What cigar? Maybe an A size, maybe.
It's a
but-
rule of thumb.
But
I have.
It's not, I
I
can't
have-
see how it's a rule of thumb. I mean, guys come up to me and says, "So, how long you think that is?" And I said, "Well, for you, maybe a half hour, 40 minutes. For me, about 25."
yeah, if you're
It
a power
depends on
hitter-
how hard you smoke the cigar.
Yes.
I've had
High power hit.
I've had a Toro last an entire football game before.
Every
Without
morning.
relighting?
Every morning.
Toro size?
Yeah.
Last
maybe-
4 hours?
I may
No.
3 hours.
3
I
hours.
may have relit it a little
A
bit. but
Toro size?
I have
Wow.
every morning when I light my first cigar, the Romeo
that's maybe the first
Reserva
quarter for
Real
me.
Toro.
I
light
light
it.
all our stores, by the way.
Yeah, I light it at like 9 o'clock when I come in, and by noon I'm still smoking that cigar.
3 hours? A Toro.
Yep.
Without relighting.
Without
Oh, you had to. Relit it once or twice.
not many, no. I put it down because I'm busy. I'm working. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It depends
Prove
on what you're doing.
Can we get pictures of this?
Yeah.
I do. I have a picture.
yes,
of him.
yeah, I remember
Years
that.
ago,
Yeah.
he was actually pushing a broom. I can't remember where we were,
Well,
but I actually saw him do it.
When I was working back here in the warehouse,
lots of pictures
he
of
was
them on the
he was
floor.
helping with the boxes and stuff like that.
I think I took a picture of that,
You
too.
stuck up behind him, went click.
took a
I
picture.
got
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have
Just act
evidence.
like I don't do anything. Hysterical.
No, we don't act like it. I mean, we're just
Yeah, this
stating-
isn't acting.
I just make it look so effortless. That's what it
Oh,
is.
is that what it is?
Oh, remember,
Okay.
he's-
Some people would say you were sleeping.
He's the only thespian in the group.
Yes, he plays
That's
it.
right. I make it look effortless. But yeah, it depends on how much you're smoking the cigar. I mean, if you're sitting there relaxing, it's not going to take that long to smoke. Obviously, you're just sitting there relaxing. You're listening to the radio outside or whatever you're doing. But when you're sitting down working like we do, we take a cigar. It lasts longer that way. So you can't say to a person, "Oh, that cigar's only going to last you an hour. Or it's going to last you a half
The
hour."
only cigar to me that ever lasted 2.5, maybe even 3.
Hoya Double Corona.
Huh?
Hoya Double Corona.
No, a Montier. When I used to go to Cuba all the time, I used to bring back Montiers, and that's a 9 by 47, I think.
I don't know the last time I smoked it.
And I
Churchill
used to
or
call it the football
larger.
cigar.
During the workday, of course, working open and closing, it's about a 10-hour day. Mm-hmm. So it takes me 4 cigars all day in a 10-hour period. So you figure that's 2-3 hours.
But I don't get some of these numbers. I've seen well-known bloggers post that this moderate Churchill will last an hour and 3/4. I never had a Churchill last an hour.
I will, one caveat to what I just said, is that even though it only 4 cigars over a 10-hour period, that means I'm putting them down, doing something,
Yeah,
Right.
really busy.
we all
Right.
doing
I
that.
do have to relate it.
And that
You
brings
have
up,
to
that's
relate.
another interesting subject. Some cigars
Go out.
hold the relight. Well,
Yes, yes.
there's reasons why they go out. But some cigars hold the relight pretty decently.
Yeah.
And others don't.
Some will last longer when you don't have to relight it too.
Yeah, true.
Like you put a cigar down for 5 minutes, you go back to it. Sometimes some cigars are still lit.
I
done
find
it-
only high quality cigars.
I've done that maybe as much as 10 or 15 minutes where I went back. I couldn't believe the
It was
cigar
still-
was
And
still
lit.
lit.
I
Yep.
can guarantee you it was not an inexpensive cigar.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Because that's old tobacco, aged tobacco that just burns evenly and nicely. But I would say the rule of thumb, that's not going to happen in the everyday cigar. That would be my guess.
I think the cigar's a little sour up front.
This cigar?
I got some. I don't know what it was. Maybe I'm tasting it on the side of my mouth. And yeah. Okay.
All right, so
That
I
was
guess-
easy for you to say.
And,
There it was.
I guess we should go with our first opinions. Scott, since
Sour.
you- All right.
Hold on. That was first. I mean, now it's not like that, but. It has almost like a green tea, like kind of clean.
Rob?
I got when I first lit it up, I got a nutty taste out of it. I'm still getting that nutty taste, and also, but through the retrohale, I get a grassy taste to it. I don't know why. That's my first impression.
I'm getting a little bit of bitterness. Just a little bit.
Are we all smoking the same cigar?
Really?
John, are we
I have
smoking
to,
the
I
same
have to
cigar?
tell you, I agree with Moose. I'm not. I get the bitterness. I get a little grassy through the retrohale. I agree with that. At this point, and I'm just early in, I'm not loving this cigar.
Really?
I'm not loving it. Maybe it'll improve as I smoke it, but it.
Any thoughts on what it is?
Huh?
Anybody have any thoughts on what the cigar is?
Not at this point. I don't know.
Not at all.
I've come to learn I have no idea.
I don't know.
That first show we were close. Well, first show we were.
First, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but mine is super veiny.
Oh, mine's not.
No, mine's not. It's a beautiful milk chocolatey color
Yeah,
wrapper.
the color is nice.
Mine's veiny too.
Yeah, look at that.
How does it roll when you roll it across the table?
Mine's a little soft too.
Well, after you.
After,
no, what's
well,
soft eaten before?
well, because it's such a bigger ring gauge, it's going to get that way.
Not that big a ring
It's
gauge.
a 54.
Nah, I think it's
No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a 56 or
No, I don't
above.
think it's 58.
Oh, was I off by 1/32 of an inch?
64.
It's a 56.
Some people say that's a lot.
56. It's
Wow,
definitely
that took it.
it's definitely not a 54. It's too
A little
big.
slow
For
on the uptake there, aren't I? You said it's definitely what?
a 56.
Oh, I said.
I think
Did you hear?
could be a little bigger.
What's that?
I don't know.
Government.
You got to bring the show down.
Well.
Gee, I was having a good day till you brought up that subject.
Yeah. So the federal government and our friendly president, they're looking at increasing the federal. You may not know this, in Pennsylvania, there is a federal tax built into every cigar. You don't know about it because it's built into the price.
40.26 cents.
Right. It's actually it's 52.75% of the import price of a cigar.
Well, it works
or
out-
capped at 40.26.
Most of the cigars we sell are at the 40.26.
Right, and they're actually looking at tripling it.
Up to $1.20 plus.
Yep. So and it's by weight. So on a Robusto, the proposed federal tax will be $1.66. So that's up $1.26.
Yeah, something like that.
On a Toro, $1.78, and on a 7x70,
Ugh,
$3.10 a cigar.
that's sure going to kill the large
That's going to
cigars.
kill. It's going to kill the big cigars.
Yep. They're doubling the tax on cigarettes too. So we're not alone.
But that doesn't matter.
Oh, I didn't realize this. A double on Roll Your Own and a 16. It says 16 time increase on pipe tobacco.
They're trying to kill the poor pipe smokers. If S-chip didn't kill them,
Why pipe smokers of all of the?
they don't like people to wear patches on their elbows.
Yeah.
Right.
You look like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
So I mean, look it up. There's a ton of articles. But if
Yeah,
you go
there
to,
are now.
You go to Half Wheel. Not that we're promoting them, but there's a really interesting article about that, and I mean it's going to kill it.
It's going to force manufacturers to make smaller and less expensive cigars. If they want to keep market share and keep people in the game, so to speak, there's a level of affordability. Not everybody can afford $10, $15 cigars.
And one of the problems we run into.
My wife keeps telling me.
Was it like 5% of 5% of the population smoke cigars?
No. Oh, what? Period or premium cigars?
What's premium? 2%?
Oh, premium cigars. It's 2 or 3% of the adult males.
So 3 out of 100, and so
Males.
it's like people.
Males.
They're like, whatever. It doesn't. It's not.
Oh, the
affecting
government
me. They
doesn't
don't
care. They're going to
That's-
steamroll
Again,
it.
that's why, you know what? I want. That's why I want $1.50 to $1.50 tax on slices of pizza.
Oh, good luck on that.
Right, but then maybe people start realizing, like, wait a minute, what right do they have to why?
You're pointing out the idiocy.
Yes, it's like people don't. Oh, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigars. So you tax them all they want.
But here's the problem. Congress, at the local level, will tell their constituents, the reason we're increasing their taxes on premium cigars so badly, if this goes through, which unfortunately not much we can do to prevent it at this point,
Probably not.
they're going to say, yeah, we're going to cut down on the amount of smoking, cut down on the amount of enjoyment that people get from smoking premium cigars, but look at all the health care costs we'll save.
Yeah.
And that'll be their argument.
Absolutely, and
that's asinine to begin with.
The government, its own agency, the FDA, has come out and
Yes,
said that there's if you're a casual cigar smoker, wait, was it casual or
Casual.
there's no increase risk of
Nothing.
illness compared to a non-smoker.
And just to be contrary, not only is there no risk, you could advance the argument, and I often do.
Oh yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, you know where I'm going. That smoking a premium cigar and relaxing, being around friends, having an occasional, liquid libation, is a stress reliever. You relax when you smoke a cigar.
There's no question.
And stress is what kills us in the end.
It's the number one killer. Heart disease
Yeah.
is the number one killer. So you could make an argument that if you can reduce your stress and decrease
Yes.
heart disease, then what bothers me so much is they're trying to tax morality.
It's the nanny state.
Let me ask you a question. People don't think through things.
No. What else is new?
Okay, so they increase all this stuff and they get people to stop smoking. Okay.
Which won't happen.
Okay, but
That's
let's
their
say
mind thought.
Okay, but in their mind thought, why don't they follow that mind thought through? People stop smoking, so that what does that mean to them? They'll collect less taxes. People won't collect as much money as they think, and it's always happened. They think they're going to increase their tax revenue.
That's been proven to be wrong.
To be wrong,
Yeah.
exactly. So what do they have to do? They have to tax something else.
To get back to the health issue.
But the thing is that they say
to get back to the health
they have to
issue
tax
for
something
just
else
1
because their
minute.
budget is higher because they're expecting this money. They don't get it,
Yeah.
so they're not going
It's
to
less money-
lower their budget.
It's less money that the politicians in Washington, D.C. can put in their own pockets.
But just to argue
They're just going to tax something
the health
else.
issue for just a minute.
They're all
Up
crooks.
until recently, maybe the last 5 or 10 years, there were a number, and I still think there's a few that exist, that if you were an occasional premium cigar smoker, you didn't pay extra for your life insurance. And there's no better arbiter of
Actuaries.
yeah, exactly, actuarial risk in death than the life insurance companies. And if it was good enough for them, we got to get these politicians off our back.
And what is it? But years ago, I remember reading a casual. How you want to define it? Cigar smoker was like 1 or 2 a day, and it's not like 1 a week.
Right.
Like at weddings.
Yeah.
It's a significant amount.
It is. We're not casual cigar smokers, but I bet you
Our customers are.
95% of our customers are.
Yeah, of course. They don't smoke like we do.
No.
No.
And a couple of years ago, after smoking for almost 60 years, I figured, well, I better get a chest X-ray, see how my lungs are. Blah, 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 blah. And it was new, clean as a newborn. I mean, my head's not screwed on too tight, but other than that,
When all the COVID started, my daughter, who's a respiratory therapist, came over to the house and she checked our blood oxygen levels.
Yeah.
Okay. She goes, yours is going to be an 86. You smoke too many cigars. I said, yeah, here you go, test. She tested it, came out 97.
Yeah. I mean, look,
And just to be clear,
also-
that's a good thing.
I've also
Very
had,
good thing.
Okay.
in addition to
Nobody's
like,
100%,
lung
so
X-rays,
97
I've
is
also had like throat
yeah.
and eyes and nothing.
And look at the old timers in our industry.
Oh yeah.
They're dying at their desk with cigars in their pocket, and they don't smoke mild cigars typically. And they're dying in their late 80s, early 90s. You can't name anyone in our industry who ran a cigar company, had their hands in the soil, or nobody's dying prematurely in our industry.
No.
They're proof positive. We're running out of time, so I guess we...
Holy crap! Look
yeah,
at the time.
Yeah, we should probably...
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Wild. I'm gonna take a Wagner. Just because it's Piz and he'll probably do this. I'm gonna say it's a Charter Oak.
Connecticut.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I'm going to say it's Perdomo Immenso, the smaller one, the Robusto.
Most?
I have no clue.
I almost think you're close. I have no clue either, to be honest.
Because I've never smoked one.
But
so
the
I have no idea
size
what
and
it is.
everything else,
The panel's been stumped.
yeah,
Those are like
stumped
70
the band.
ring gauge.
Not the big, not the shorter one's not. I don't know. It's a guess. It's as good as your guess. I have no
Alright.
idea.
We have a text that declares what it is.
Did you text him?
From under Funkin' Wagnall's porch, here's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
answer.
I didn't get your text.
Oh, we'll just spend the next 10 minutes waiting for the text.
Oh, here it is. Everybody calm down.
We only have so much
Good
time.
Lord. Stupid freaking phone. All right, here we go.
We'll pay the bill
How
next
can you
time.
see that? That screen is cracked.
Whatever.
If you could make it today, it would be helpful.
It's Romeo and Juliet Habano Reserve.
Ah,
Huh.
in this size?
Really?
Yeah.
It's a Robusto? Really?
Then it's a 52 or 54 at the most.
54?
What's right?
There's no way it's a
What did I
50.
say?
There's no way this is a 54.
Remember
Okay.
what I
None.
said, Moose?
All right, we'll argue about it later.
There's no way.
Just want to remind everybody, stay tuned for Cigar Time Outlet Show and go to cigarsamplers.com. That's cigarsamplers.com. See our new website with all kinds of money-saving packs. It'll just blow you away. That's
Something for everyone.
cigarsamplers.com.
In every budget.
Smoke 'em if you
Ciao
got
for
'em.
now, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.